Another episode of Dear Siddiqi with a little dose of magic. Magic, the schnoodle puppy. She wanted to say hi, say hi, say hi, say hi. Anyway, I'm so glad you're here, my friend. This is the time and the space where I use my intuition to answer your very important questions that you've been sending me at dearsiddiqui@gmail.com. That's dear SIDDIQI @gmail.com. So happy to receive just a plethora of amazing questions that people have been asking about all sorts of things. There's no holds bar on the questions that you ask people. I will be using my intuition to just tune in to, the powers that be and to help you discern and make better decisions based on the intuitive information. I should kind of bring it up rather than bring it down. Where does intuition live? We're going to get to that later. But I wanted to start with some overall caveats and some messages for you. So first of all, this is for entertainment and inspiration and educational purposes only. I am not a mental health professional, and the answers that are given are truly from my heart to yours. As your friend that tells the truth, that's what Siddiqi means, the friend that tells the truth. And I am here to answer your questions with the caveat that you should always check it out with a professional. So there it is. That's for the LA lawyers. I'm on twice a week answering your questions. You can write in, and whatever channel you are watching this on, please subscribe, hit the subscribe button below, or friend me or connect with me on this channel so that you can continue to enjoy these awesome, very rich, very deep, full of wisdom sessions that are truly meant to help guide you from my higher self to yours so that you can have more confidence in the decisions that you're making, more information as you walk into situations this year. And with that, I'm going to start with some channeling overall messages, and then I'm going to answer 2 questions. This is going to be, less than 20 minutes, this whole recording or this whole show. So I just want to start with the messages that have been coming through for me as we end 2022 and we are now into 2023. So there's some overall messages for us to keep in mind as we are moving forward. So there is a very palpable sense that something is missing, a feeling that despite your best efforts, you've still failed. If I had $1 for every time I heard that from a client. So what we're going through as a collective, it's been a major haul. It started way back before 2020, before the pandemic. And there's just, as this collective, there's this huge load of exhaustion that we are all experiencing. And the result is that a lot of people feel like they are swimming against the current, and the messages that you may be getting in your head is, what's it all for? Like, despite my best efforts, I've gotten nowhere and I've failed. And you need to know that you're not alone in that. This is your friend telling you the truth. You're not alone and you haven't failed. And if you're still here and you're still trying and you're still living, that there is a multitude of opportunities in this next year coming up for you to really succeed at the things that you've been trying at, and to, as I would say, fail forward, my friend. So this is the year for us to fail forward. We're not giving up. We're not dialing it in. We're not throwing in the towel. We are putting our best efforts forward, and we are detaching from the outcome. So one of the things that I notice a lot in my work with clients as a consultant is these are very highly accomplished people that have done a lot of amazing things with their lives. And as a collective, I can honestly say, y'all don't give yourself enough credit for what you've done. And that's part of the problem. Part of the missing piece of the puzzle is that you need to give yourself more credit, A, for making it through, B, for still trying, C, for failing and getting up. What's that definition of success? Is not overcoming failure. Success is getting up more times than you've been knocked down. Really want you to land that in your body, that part of the issue right now, part of the exhaustion is that you're looking at where you've failed, where you've missed the mark, where it doesn't feel right, where it doesn't feel like you've done enough or been enough. And that's part of the collective exhaustion. And we need to flip the switch on that. We need to go 180 degrees in the other direction and really look at where are the opportunities to say yes. Yes to yourself, yes to self-care amidst all this adversity. And some of you, I'm going to say here, you need to get selfish. You need to stop looking outside of yourself to be a do-gooder, to make everybody else feel good, to get that sense of accomplishment, to get the, the acknowledgement from other people. You need to pull back. And this is your time that instead of looking at success, failure, point scoring in your own head, for yourself and for others, that it's really time to do self-care and to nip in the bud for 2023, that old pattern that drags you down every time and tells you, I'm not good enough, I haven't done enough, and leads you to a sense of exasperation, frustration, desperation. So I'm calling it like it is, my friend. Sometimes these are going to be nice, warm, fuzzy, I'm giving you a big hug moments. And sometimes it's going to be like, hey, stop it, cut it out. So cut it out on the the self-sacrifice for others and start saying yes to yourself. Yes, admit the adversity that's going on, because honestly, whether you see it or not, there's a lot of separation going on from old paradigms, from old structures. So that might look like it's no longer a fit for you to work in corporate America, or the job that you were in, the role that you were in. It just doesn't fit. It feels too tight. It's been constricting for too long. And instead of seeing that as a failure, see it as a success, that you've outgrown your shell, and that this opportunity that you've had for however long it's been to be in this one role, in this one position, it's been great, but you've outgrown it. So there is no failure in outgrowing it. There's just growing more with more opportunities. So if that's you in terms of your vocation, your passion, your purpose in your life, the career trajectory that you've been on, that you thought you were going to be on, just take a deep breath and always default to self-care. So here's one practice that I do that's a little counterculture, but the practice I'm going to give you today is that when everything is going to hell in a handbasket, everything is going sideways, you wake up and you're just having a bad day, give yourself permission to say, F it, go back to bed, get a good book, get your favorite drink, and just for a day, allow yourself to quit trying and trust that you will come back around. Trust that you will find that momentum again. And that leads me into our first question, which I thought was really good. I picked this out because, again, it's a trend that I keep hearing, and it says, "Dear Siddiqi, the past several years have been a nightmare for me." Holla, I hear you. I got downsized from my job during the pandemic. I had thyroid cancer. I'm so sorry to hear that. And my kids finally went off to university. Yay, you're a successful parent. They're off in the world. Sorry, I'm editorializing this. I've completely lost momentum in my career and in my zest for life. After all this loss, how do I get motivated? How do I get motivated and start again? And that's from Lost in Space in Louisville. Apparently, this is a person that didn't want to be named. No worries. So the question is, I've lost my mojo. I've lost my momentum. I've had all these knockdowns in life, and how do I get it back? That's a great question. And Lost in Louisville, I know that you, or Lost in Space in Louisville, I know that you are speaking for a lot of people that feel and are experiencing that energy of just a deep abiding sense of, we've lost our blood. I don't know if any of you have donated blood, but after you've donated blood or lost blood, you just feel really tired and really depleted and completely lacking the motivation. I've had COVID numerous times, and I feel like that all the time now. So there's a lot that we have lost momentum around our health, in relationships, in our jobs, maybe with money. So there's a lot of areas where this lack of momentum, and how do I even get the energy going to start again? Where do I get it from? I get it. And I want to say that you are just not alone. You need to know you're not alone. So when you feel like you've lost your momentum, how do I get started again? One step at a time. Super simple. It's stupid simple. And so you're likely to overthink the answer. Oh, it couldn't be that simple. It has to be like the plan to go to the gym, and like Mondays I'm doing abs, and Wednesdays I'm doing legs, and Fridays I'm doing arms, or whatever. Like, you don't need a plan to start simple. And part of the lack of momentum, my friend, is that you have been trying to bite off too much, trying to do it perfectly, and not getting momentum for the whole plan, for the whole trajectory of what it is you want momentum for. And you can only do the next right thing, the next right step, the next thing that's in front of you, and trust that that little baby step forward is the beginning of momentum. It just is. So at some point, if you've been cruising downhill, you're going to have to start pedaling. This is the point, my friends, that you're going to have to start pedaling. If you've lost momentum, you're probably physically out of shape, and you're going to have to build up bit by bit by bit. And so the momentum does not come all at once. It does not come in that beginning of the year, quick start. I'm going to do it all mentality. It comes in, okay, pause. This year, let's do it different. Let me scale back my expectations of what momentum and what success looks like. And let me instead figure out the next right thing that I can do. It's going to be a little bit of a push, but it's not impossible. So I hope that helps you in Louisville and all over the world not to feel so lost in space, but I totally get it. Cool. So the next question, it's kind of big. It's a big question. I was like, oh, do I want to answer this one so early in the year? But yes, I do. And here's why. Because the question, well, let me just read the question. Dear Siddiqi, I don't know if you could help with this, but I figure it was worth a try. It's always worth a try asking your friends, your friend that tells the truth. I'm in my 60s, and my doctor tells me my BMI is too high and it's a risk factor for me. I openly admit, I'm laughing not at you, I'm laughing with you on this one, if you're laughing at all. I openly admit that I ate my way through COVID and put on the dreaded COVID-19 plus 20 pounds. How can I get it off and get back to my pre-COVID weight? From Ate My Feelings, Anne in Tampa, Florida. Well, Anne, I can see that you have a little bit of a sense of humor, which I think is awesome. So how do I lose weight? Again, I'm an intuitive. I'm giving you an intuitive reading. I'm telling you the truth as your friend, and you can take what you like and leave the rest. Obviously, you landed here today, whether you're Anne or Lost in Space from Louisville. You landed here today because something about the title, something about this grabbed you, and whether or not you want to lose weight, how about we apply this to all of our goals? So first of all, I'm a huge proponent of intuitive eating. I'm a huge proponent of intuition across the board, using it to guide you back to the truth of who you are. Now, oftentimes your intuition is in direct opposition to your big plans and your big goals, and that unrelenting standard that says, I need to be this weight on the scale in order to feel good about myself and my life. So how do I lose weight? How do you lose weight? Is you stop eating so much and you start exercising. I mean, you know that. I know you know that. Everybody knows that. There's not one, okay, here we go. It's getting fierce. The energy is getting fierce. There's not one of you that doesn't know. If I said you need to lose 10 pounds because you're going to be on this big TV show, there's not any of you that can't say that you don't know what to do. right? You know what to do, whether it's keto or paleo or, more weights or more walking or gentle aerobics or whatever it is. There's no question that you know what to do and that you've tried it in the past. And so this is where we have to do a pattern reset on your expectations of losing weight and your motivations, and come back to something that is maybe not as fast and furious and concentrated as you would have done in the past, which is a very specific diet plan and a very specific workout plan. And, 2 shakes a day and 1 meal, whatever it has been in the past. Obviously, I'm going to include myself in here. We went far away from what we knew worked in the past to have whatever weight it was. And we, Anne, it wasn't Anne, hold on. It was, Ate My Feelings. Yeah, Ate My Feelings, Anne in Tampa, Florida. So in your signature, you gave yourself the answers. You've been eating your feelings. And so to me, the opposite of feelings is intuition. And intuition is when I look at my meals, I'm like, is this healthy for my body? Am I using this as fuel, or am I using it as an emotional cover-up for what's happening in my life right now? This is really about coming back to, why are you eating? Why are you overweight? Did it just happen overnight? I don't think so. It happened because one step at a time, we made a decision to eat instead of sit with our feelings, or whatever it is. I'm just using that as a small sliver of the problem. And we didn't prioritize our health. We wanted to feel good now versus seeing the long-term picture for our health. So as your friend that tells the truth, eating your feelings is never going to work. It's always going to lead to the same outcome, which is self-loathing, not liking what you see when you look in the mirror, not fitting in your clothes, not feeling comfortable in your skin, and eating your feelings and avoiding the inevitable, which is at some point you will have to put down the food and start feeling your feelings so that you can tune back into your intuition and really do what is right. So this is my best loving wake up call to you. Every time you go to put something in your mouth, you have to check yourself. Am I eating this because it's fuel for my body? Or am I saying F it and I'm eating it because it feels good and I'm trying to avoid something? So either you're going towards your highest self, the next level of who you are, either you're going towards that or you're going actively away from it. So if you're eating your feelings, you're going away from the truth of who you are, which is your feelings are perfectly acceptable. You just need to find a better outlet to feel them. Diets are restrictive. They have been statistically shown to, over time, you get the diminishing point of return. It gets harder and harder to lose the weight. And so let's not focus on the losing the weight. Let's focus on recalibrating from the number on the scale and the foods to, am I feeling my feelings? Am I giving them an outlet? And if not, that's the first thing you need to address. And then 2, really getting into a mindful practice of intuitively tuning in to, is this food going to fuel me and my life and where I'm going in my life? Or is it a cover up and it's going to keep me hiding out? I hope that that helps. And honestly, it's not meant to sound judgmental at all. We've all been there. I've eaten my feelings on numerous occasions. And let me just end with this. How can I get it off and get back to my pre-COVID weight? I say this with love, but it is the truth. You don't need to get back to your pre-COVID weight. We need to be at a healthy weight, but really we need to look at what is causing me to eat emotionally. Now, if you want to private message me, I do have some excellent coaches that work with these specific issues that are amazing. So if you want that resource, I'm happy to give it to you. So again, thank you, thank you, thank you for joining me for another Dear Siddiqi. As always, please, please, please like the channel you're on, subscribe if you're on YouTube, connect with me if you're on LinkedIn, join or become my friend if you are on Facebook. And I'm so grateful that you're here. Write your questions to dearsiddiqui@gmail.com. I will answer them. And even if you want it anonymous, no problem. We will still send you an email when I have answered your questions in one of these episodes. Thank you again for joining me and letting me be the friend that tells you the truth with so much love and a little bit of a like, pinch and wake up. And I will see you on our next episode.